Light the beam. Lose to the Wizards, the worst team in the league. Beat one of the hottest teams in the league. That's the Sacramento Kings for you right there, Ryno.
That's the Kings for you, the most chaotic team in the NBA.
What a big win. I mean, again, we keep talking about this. There's not a lot of games left, and wasn't it nice to see the Kings in a close game? You know what I mean? And
Yes.
have them prevail. I mean, we haven't had. You talked about this the other night. Last year we had so many close games to talk about. We really haven't had that this year. But it was nice to see on the road a close game and the Kings prevail.
Yeah, and on top of that, a close game in a style that the other team specializes in. Believe it or not, the Magic are third in the NBA in defensive rating, fourth in steals, so they'll muck it up. And I guess, Grant, we're seeing something that I've rarely seen watching basketball: a team transform before your eyes stylistically.
Yeah, you've talked a lot about this, how their style has changed due to the lineup and having Ellis, who was tremendous in this game. I mean, he was really good because you know what he did? He played his usual good defense, but then he was an offensive contributor. And isn't it interesting that the Kings won a game on the road against a very good team where Malik Monk did nothing?
Yeah, if you wanted a game where Malik to do nothing, the Orlando media before the game wanted all Malik Monk. Well, I'm glad he stunk that place up. But, the Kings find another way. And I think that was Keegan Murray, right? He steps
Yep.
up. The Kings didn't know who they were necessarily going to turn to, gets hot in the third quarter. And I mean, what he was doing on defense, big for them as well.
Is that Monk's worst game of the year? 0 of 11. I mean,
Absolutely.
but everything.
It,
I mean,
it,
he did have 5 assists, but he just didn't look like himself out there.
No, and the shot selection too. If you're trying to work yourself out of a little shooting slump, you don't want to take
Yeah.
fadeaways from 25 feet away.
All right. What did you think of Keegan Murray in this game?
I thought Keegan was great. In fact, I told you off the air, I was surprised the Kings didn't go to him more down the stretch. The second game in the row, that shot looks a little bit better. And just he brings a physical presence that's starting to bleed out a little bit inside for the Kings when they need it.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I can't figure out this team. We always talk about
No.
this team plays to the level of the competition. And I said, I think it may have been on a rant or maybe it was on this show. I can't recall. The good news is, other than maybe Portland in the last game of the year, there aren't any really bad teams left on the schedule. So maybe that's good that you're playing all good teams the rest of the way. Next up is Philly. They're having a lot of problems right now. And then you play 2 games against the Dallas Mavericks, which could very well decide whether you're a 6th seed, a 7th seed, or an 8th seed.
Yeah, it's 2 full games in the loss column this time of year. It's huge. And so I guess that's why that
Huge.
Philadelphia game becomes, what do you do? Do you play the guys? Do you not play them? You've talked about it, but I think Mike Brown will end up playing them. I guess, Grant, we have to look at now what are the different things for the Kings because, yes, they do play well sometimes, and sometimes they don't play well at all. But things have kind of changed, and we have new landmarks for them to hit.
Yeah.
I think 115, Grant. If the Kings can score 115 points the rest of the season,
Good
they will
point.
at least have a chance to win the game.
You know what? It's a very good point, and we haven't been able to say that in a long time. Hey, New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you for your plumbing needs and repairs. Just go to newworksplumbing.com or sackserviceplumbing.com. They are available around the clock 24/7 for all of your plumbing needs and repairs. New Works Plumbing at sackserviceplumbing.com. When's the last time you could say that about if you score 115, you got a good chance of winning?
The 90s, maybe. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a throwback to that basketball, Grant. Are there similarities that you see?
You know what? I like it. And I think you brought this point up maybe a week ago or so, but it's a nice change because I think this style of basketball is probably more conducive to winning if you make the playoffs.
Spot on. This style gives you a chance to win. It's not something like a jump shot that every team can do on any given night.
Well, we are hoping that people want to take the time to call the show. You can also text us. I know, Ryan, you've been talking about we have a text line now. So
we do.
If folks want to text us, they can do that as well.
Yeah, Grant, actually, we're going to get to Michael here in a second, our first call of the night, but we did get a text about shot selection, Grant. What do you think about the Kings shot selection tonight?
Well, I thought for the most part it was good. There were times where I thought Fox, who had a really good game, but I thought in the last 2 minutes, one of his shots was very ill advised. I didn't think it was a good shot,
Yes.
but I mean, again, listen, you're not always going to have good shots all the time, but they didn't shoot a very good percentage in this game overall at 43%, and they still won. What did you think of the shot selection?
I thought when it came to crunch time, it wasn't great. I didn't De'Aaron Fox, the shot that you're talking about, the
Yep.
3-pointer. But I think
Yep.
that's part of the Kings learning how to play in this style and why we're watching it before our eyes. Because for them, I don't think it's going to be so much about shot quantity. It's going to be shot quality, Grant, and they're going to have to learn and pick their spots.
All right, let's get to some calls, huh? What do you say?
Yeah. Let's do it. We bring in Michael. Welcome to the show tonight, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
A long-time watcher and listener, actually. So I'm doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Cool.
I think one thing that you guys really went over that I've been watching over the season is the shot quality that's really struggled and frustrated me. Is some teams are really giving up the paint. Other times teams are giving up, easy jumpers, and the Kings are failing to adjust to that, it seems like. And that's what's causing what I've seen a lot in their inconsistency, especially like tonight. They were conceding the paint to De'Aaron, and he took that ill-advised three. What do you
Interesting
guys
point.
think?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
I asked Jerry Reynolds at halftime about that, and it was a little bit more specific to De'Aaron Fox, and he thought it was a combination of the way that Fox is being played and also a combination of maybe some frustration of not getting calls. But when it comes to the paint tonight, the Kings were killed in the paint, 56-32.
They were. They got beat badly in the paint. That's about the only area, because I thought their assist to turnover ratio was good. Their fast break points were good. They had a lot of good things, but the points in the paint, you're right, was very lopsided.
Well, the bench points too, 49-7. I mean, Michael, did you notice the bench not giving you much?
Not having Trey Lyles is really, I think, kind of hurting us in as far as like the rebounds and hustle points and just the little things, the scrappy things that he does. Even if he doesn't bring it on the offensive end, he at least puts forth the effort on the defensive end.
Yeah, I don't think we talk about him enough. I mean, they have really missed him, and again, I'm not expecting him to really contribute here for a while. So it is what it is. That's why you have a bench. The Magic had a couple of players that weren't. Harris was not playing, and then they lost one of their starters in the middle of the game. That it's next man up. You just got to keep rolling. The Kings aren't the only team in the league that have guys hurt.
My father's not a big fan of Trey Lyles, but again, my parents moved to Salt Lake City years ago, so now he's a Jazz fan. So we got to see Trey Lyles, unpolished, whereas now Trey Lyles is a much more polished player. He contributes offensively and defensively. So yeah, I can see where you're talking about. Guys had to really step up.
Yeah, and he's brought an element of physicality too. I mean, up until Keon getting more minutes, he was that guy that was a little bit of the dog for the Kings.
Absolutely. Remember last year with the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yep, exactly right.
Yep. Hey, Michael, excellent job. Really appreciate you joining us here on the stream, and hope that we can talk to you again in the future.
Yeah, sure, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate the content and your guys' perspective. It's not so homerish at times. You guys really kind of deep dive into it, and you hold players accountable, even though sometimes we don't want to hear it. We need to hear it.
Yeah.
Michael, appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Like to be.
Yeah, you have a good one, and we certainly invite your calls. We also invite you to contact fostersandpaws.org/adopt. They have, as of a couple of days ago, 20 puppies available for adoption, and in a couple of weeks, it's going to be 70 puppies or thereabout available for adoption. They're a group of animal advocates, and all you need to do is go to fostersandpaws.org/adopt. They're awesome. That's Fosters and Paws. If you are looking for a puppy, now's a great time. And again, fostersandpaws.org/adopt. Kings in a tight one, 107-107. Get the road win against the Magic.
Big road win. We bring in, hey, Zach, you might get your dinner. I'm not convinced of it yet, but hey, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, if Monk was to have a bad game, it was against the team that might give him the most money. So it was good to do it against Orlando.
Yeah.
But a great win. Keon Ellis, 19, 5 and 6. Just the assists and stuff was crazy. Doing a little bit of other things, not just defense, even passing the ball. I like that. Keegan was playing well, making his threes today, which was nice to see. Actually was kind of surprised on that last play. They got Keegan out for a second. But it worked out because they had Sabonis on Big Caro, and then they wanted to switch, so they got the Fox on Big Caro at the end. I think that's what they wanted, but then he got doubled by Keon, and it was nice defense at the end. But just great win. The starters played great. Fox, Sabonis, Keon, Keegan, everyone. The bench, just that's the only obviously the one of the bad spots there. Absolutely got nothing there from the bench. 0 points from Monk, and everyone else didn't do anything. So hopefully Lyles gets back, Sasha gets back, and hopefully we can get our depth going. It was a good win. I mean, this is, I guess, what happens every game. We just beat the good teams and lose to the bad ones.
Well, the good news is there aren't a lot of bad teams left on the schedule.
That's true. We got a lot of good teams coming up, and we'll see where we end up. I mean, I'm not trying to be pessimistic or anything, but I do think we're probably going to be that 7th or 8th seed. So,
as long as you win the play-in, I guess that would be okay if you're 7 or 8. Because personally, I don't think there's a big difference right now in the top 3 or 4 teams in the West. I really don't. I think personally, Ryan disagrees with me a little bit. I don't want to see Denver with their championship pedigree and with Murray and Jokic. I don't think the Kings would win that series. I don't even think I think they'd be lucky to win a game in that series. Everyone else, I could see them winning a first-round matchup against.
Yeah, I definitely Minnesota, OKC are the teams that we want to see if we get there. Yep. But I mean, I think we just got to focus on just making the playoffs right now. Like you guys have been saying, like I think we might be playing Phoenix in that. I actually do feel like it might be Phoenix, Kings, 7 and 8, and then Lakers, Golden State. So we're gonna have to maybe face Phoenix in the first game, and
yep.
hopefully win that one, or else we got to face either Lakers and Golden State. And anything could happen in those games.
Well, you gotta just worry about Philly. Yeah, they're not playing well right now. They've lost 7 of 10, and they've lost a couple in a row. And we saw earlier in the year, the Maxey just killed the Kings, and they got to the basket all the time. And I really think the impact of Keon Ellis in this game will be substantial because they didn't have that when they played Philadelphia. They had no one that could stay in front of the basketball in that game in Philadelphia. So the defense is better than it was. That should bode well for the Kings.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 biggest games, Dallas coming up too, those are going to be crazy big. Are we going to be able to sweep them this year or what?
Well, you can't sweep them until you win the first one, and that's going to be difficult. Both teams are playing back-to-back, and it's the 3rd game in 4 nights for the Kings with a cross-country trip and only 1 day off. So, again, it's not the greatest schedule in the world, but at this point of the season, you just got to go out and get it done. You can't really be complaining about the schedule. I can, Ryan can, you can, but the guys have to, somehow block that out.
Yeah, all right. Great win, guys, and I'm gonna look forward to that Bennett's dinner in the summer. Let's go! Light the beam! Light the beam, guys! Light the beam!
Light the beam!
Let's go! Take care, guys.
See you, Zach.
Love it. Hey, Napes, really quick, we got a text asking, should De'Aaron take more threes, less threes? I think we kind of covered it. We think it should be less, yeah?
Yep.
A little bit less?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay,
yep.
We're on the same page there. Also on the De'Aaron topic, another text. He had to be pulled away from the officials in the 4th quarter by Luke Laux. What are we doing? What are we doing?
He's arguing way too much with the officials. We talked about this. It's happening way too much.
I don't know that I've ever seen Luke Laux come that far out onto the floor for a timeout. But I mean, I get De'Aaron thought he was hit in a private place, but I don't know, Grant. It seems like composure is leading to bad basketball IQ. When it's composure, you can maybe fix that. If it's bad basketball IQ,
well,
it is what it is.
I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've been pretty open about this. And, coming up next week, you're going to see the worst in the league in Luka Doncic. And, if De'Aaron's going to continue this, I think it really detracts from the game. I don't like it. Jerry and me, we've talked about this a lot. I'd like to see the league do something about it because they have the power in their hands to do so. But it doesn't seem like that they want to. And I think that's very unfortunate. I really do. Hey, I want to tell you about Gold Country Veterinary Hospital before we get to more calls. They are located in Auburn, as you can see. They serve the Foothills, Roseville, and the greater Sacramento area. They are a full-service veterinary medicine, dentistry, surgery, and wellness care hospital, and they're dedicated to urgent care. They have advanced internal medicine, full surgical care. They have the most modern technology, and they're very proud of their pain management protocols, which maximizes faster recovery for their surgical and dental patients. That's Gold Country Veterinarian Hospital, located in Auburn. Kings win against the Magic, and now a long flight home. And then you got to get ready for Philadelphia, and then the next night, Dallas.
Yeah, 24 hours is not enough. And shout out to Gold Country for helping Jerry Reynolds kick that Nerf ball habit. You know, you talked about that a couple of shows ago.
Yeah. How about that, huh? I like that.
You know,
yeah.
They can work miracles over there.
Yeah.
We're going to my brother on the Mesa, Rich in Diego. What's up? How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, thank you.
All right. I'll tell you what, we got the Aztecs are winning, the Kings are winning, man. We're smiling this weekend. My wife showed up for the game tonight, and she had on a Kings shirt that I even forgot that I got her months ago.
Ah, nice.
And I told her, I says, you know what? Because she's half Irish. And I said, we got the lucky the Irish go with us tonight. We got to win.
It's all good. All good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So I tell you what, but that one guy from the Magic, who was that? I mean, he went off,
Isaac.
and I'm like, oh, keep him on the bench, you know. And they put him on the bench. I go, thank goodness.
Yep, Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, exactly, Isaac. Yeah, but what a game, man! What a great finish, and you know, I mean, if we didn't get this one tonight, it would really hurt us, as you guys well know.
Yeah, they all are so big right now because Phoenix is going to win. They're destroying the Spurs, so they're going to win. And really, now we got 12 games left. Well, 12 games.
Yeah. So this next week's going to tell us a lot. 2 games against the Mavericks, man. That's gonna be the big story, I think, right there. Don't you think?
Yep.
Yes and no. I think the biggest story is that 4-game road trip that they have to the East Coast. Knicks, Celtics on a back-to-back, the Nets, and then at Oklahoma City. That is a brutal road trip. If the Knicks are healthy, that's going to be a very difficult game to win. They're playing well, and then Boston is Boston on a second night of a back-to-back. Your chances of you winning that game are slim and none, and you should beat the Nets, and then Oklahoma City is a toss-up.
Yeah. Well, it was nice to see Keegan Murray on his game tonight, huh?
Yep.
That was a real positive.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, well, hey, it was good seeing you both, and let's keep this rolling, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Good hearing from you down in San Diego.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Surprised.
I know everyone keeps pointing to the Mavericks, and I get that, but there are a lot of big games on the schedule besides just Dallas. And as long as you don't lose 2 games to the Mavs, I'm okay with that. All right, I'll ask you, Ryno, would you take a split right now if I said, hey,
Absolutely.
1-1? Me too.
Absolutely. Because I feel like I know what the Kings are going to do. I know it's a brutal East Coast road trip, but the last time they had a bad road trip or an awkward road trip, they were 5-7, Grant, and they were not playing this style of basketball. And their home numbers don't look now, but they're starting to even out a little bit closer to the road numbers. And so I just think it's all positives. And if the Kings were to drop both of those games, doesn't that significantly change that road trip in your approach?
No question. 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, it absolutely does. So, you want to win both, but you can't win both until you win the first. So first things first. Hey, don't forget Bennett's. All right. You're looking for a good place for brunch tomorrow. They've got it for you. Their weekend brunch is awesome. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com and make a reservation. Check out the menu and more. Prime seafood and steak at Bennett's. 3 locations, as we said, Sacramento, Roseville, and the West Side Grill in Rockland. You'll love it. Bennett's. They are great. That's Bennett's Restaurants at Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Kings get a big road win tonight against the Orlando Magic. Close game, and they got it done. Big time win. Big time.
They get it done. A lot of things to look positive on. I mean, Grant, Keon Ellis, if he can play that role, whether it's Keon with the starting group or Davion with the second group, getting to whatever those spots are where they can hit those spot up threes.
Yeah. Well, again, the Kings win. Phoenix is going to win. And you have Philadelphia coming up next. And again, they're not playing well, followed by Dallas and Dallas. I know one thing, it's going to be a hell of a week, my friend.
It's going to be a fun week. Not a shortage of basketball by any means, Napes.
It's going to be a big week. There's no question about that. Hey, don't forget, we've got all the coverage for you, Ryan, with the pregame, halftime with Jerry, postgame show, and we'll sprinkle some other shows in. So make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. But if you subscribe to the channel, you'll always know when we're doing a show, and you won't miss anything as we get you right down for the stretch drive of the regular season.
Where's the season gone, Napes? I can't believe it's almost another 82 in the books.
Isn't it amazing?
It's crazy because it's almost year round now, because you think about it, and then you've got the summer draft, summer league, but man, it flies.
You know what? It is crazy. I'll tell you what you can do if you have some time and you're interested in looking at a beautiful development. It is Sunrise Landing. If you go to CalusaSunrise.com, Sunrise Landing from Blazona Development, 6 models to choose from, no Belarus, no homeowners, great access to the major arteries like I-5 and Highway 20. And this is a really nice development in Calusa. Again, it's called Sunrise Landing. You go to CalusaSunrise.com. That's CalusaSunrise.com, and you can check it out for yourself. I know a lot of people obviously are, wrapped up in the tournament, and we get that. So we're not going to go super long on this one, but I hate to use the word signature, but I said this the other night. The Kings seem to play very well after bad losses. That's the one thing I will give them a lot of credit for. Not all the time, most of the time. They do a really good job, Ryan, at bouncing back after a bad loss.
It's great to be resilient. I just wonder, what that magic ingredient is that kicks in when they've got their backs against the wall. Where's the sense of urgency?
Yeah. So don't forget, Kings and Sixers, not a lot of time. Monday, pregame, halftime, postgame, and then the very next night, it is Dallas. So we are going to be busy. You need to get some sleep, my friend, because you're going to be rocking and rolling a lot.
Oh, let's do it. Can you write me a note to give to my wife? Grant says I need to get some sleep.
Yeah. It's I'll have it. I was going to say overnight delivery. Maybe I'll just have it hand delivered. You can get it within the next half hour or something. Okay.
That would be great. I'm sure there's an app for that. I'm sure. There is.
All right. Well, the Kings get a big win. Really appreciate you joining here on the post game. Again, big time win. Nothing else you can say. That Orlando is a good team. Do not let anyone tell you differently. The Orlando Magic are a good team. Okay. And the Kings went in there and got a big W. Next up is Philadelphia. So long, everybody.